So automation with Loxone in the home begins before we enter the space, and that's with access control. This right here is our NFC code touch. What's wonderful about this device, I can create codes that work all the time for myself and my family. I can even create a code that works just in a certain time frame, maybe a certain day and only a certain amount of time for a house cleaner that comes or a dog walker. You can also make codes on the fly, easily through my app, my Loxone app on my phone. So if I have a guest coming or someone that I need to just drop something off for me, it's very easy to do that, enter their code, they get right inside. And on a regular basis, I have this little encrypted key fob. So all I have to do is touch it, open my door, and I'm good to go. So now we're inside of our US headquarters here at Loxone US, and we're going to step right into our experience center. Imagine that this is me coming home after a long day. To us, this is how a true smart home should greet you when you do walk in. So follow me now. As soon as I enter the space, as you can see, lighting has come on for me. Music has come on as well. And even the climate has adjusted itself so that all of my comfort preferences have greeted me. And I haven't had to touch anything for this to happen. So with Loxone, we are creating a comfortable environment intuitively without me having to make constant changes and adjustments. It's why we say that we're saving 50,000 tasks each year, because Loxone is taking care of that for me. A big part of that is climate. So the temperature from room to room, a kitchen versus say a nursery, we can regulate it. We can use the heating system, our cooling systems, mini splits, can even take input from things like ceiling fans and fireplaces to create that perfect and ideal temperature. And because this is not based on a schedule, this is based on what's actually happening inside and outside of the home, we're creating true and real automation with climate. Now, another core component to every home is lighting. With Loxone, we have seamlessly integrated every type of lighting that you would have in your home, whether it's our fixtures, those that you see right here, or third-party fixtures. Does not matter, we can have them seamlessly work together. I can completely change the feel of my kitchen here by adjusting the brightness levels, adjusting the color, and even tune my white light. So whether I'm cooking and I want it very stark and bright, then when I eat, I want to soften the feel, and I can do that very easily with Loxone. So typically, when we're looking at our kitchen space here, we have several different types of lighting. We have our accent lighting above our bar area, overhead lighting, and plenty of accent lighting on our shelving and around the crown of the room. Typically, in a space like this, I would also have just as many switches and buttons and options if I wanted to adjust those lights. A large bay of toggle switches and just kind of a mess of clutter. For Loxone, we tie all of these fixtures down to one touch point. So now I can adjust my accent lighting, my task lighting, and I can do all of it together through the app. I can change the brightness levels, I can warm up a white light, I can play with full color options that are available to me with our fixtures. And then it's a simple tap, and all of those lights are responding to and deploying those fun different moods that I've made right here in my kitchen space. So in a Loxone home, true real automation is taking care of me not having to constantly touch thermostats and buttons and switches and entryway keypads. What's taking that burden now are our simple little presence sensors that we have from room to room. Because my presence is picked up on in this space, lighting, climate, music, it's all adjusting for me. Right behind me in our closed-off dining room, it's not occupied, so it's conserving energy for us, of course. Why I like the space that is not occupied. But as soon as I do step into this space, I'm greeted again. Not just with my lighting, of course, but eventually my climate is going to make that ideal temperature, and even that soft music is following from space to space. So we've seen how much Loxone takes care of for us. So without even thinking, all of these big components, our lighting, our climate, music is going to adjust on its own. Of course, there's going to be a time where you want to make changes yourself. It's very easy to do that with our touch. It's, as you can see, very simple, very clean. And the goal is to have, of course, everyone in your home, even guests that come to visit, be able to very easily make those changes. When you look at this touch switch, we have 5 points. So each corner and the center right there. To adjust my lighting, it's a simple tap right there in the center of my switch. And you can see how different the feel of the room is when I adjust those lighting moods. On the left side, typically we have shading. Very easy to put shading up or move it down. And on the right side, music. If I want to turn the volume up, I can do that right here. Turn it back down just as easily. These are what we choose to put on the touch because something like your music, something like your lighting, you want to make that quick change. And for us, that should be simple and easy. You don't want to have to read a cryptic keypad or have you rely on pulling out and opening several different apps to be able to do that. So a main feature of a Loxone home is our night mode. When you are going to bed for the night, it should be very easy and simple to know that everything in your house is off. Rather than doing a lap around your home, with Loxone, it's one simple tap and I'm going to turn everything in my home off at one time. And here we are now in night mode. Now in the middle of the night, if I have to get up for whatever reason, it's as simple as this. As soon as I stand up, presence is detected and lighting comes on for me. I don't have to find a keypad, make a selection when I'm still half asleep. It just comes on. This blue you see is also a very soft, dim blue. So if someone else is still sleeping, this is not enough to disturb them or wake them up. One of my favorite products, a very intuitive device from Loxone, is the touch surface. There's quite frankly nothing like it. I'll show this to you guys now that we're in the bathroom. Stepped into the master shower. Right here on the wall, you can see a decal that looks very similar to the touch that we have throughout our home. What you're really looking at is just a decal we've placed on the tile here. The actual device is behind this piece of tile, but we're still able to interact with it. So this is, quite frankly, an invisible touch. Now, even from the shower, I can adjust my lighting, adjust my music, adjust everything very easily. This can go behind tile, wood, on a kitchen countertop maybe, out by your pool, and you have that ease of interacting with your home from virtually anywhere. In a Loxone home, all of these aspects of my space are taken care of first and foremost with our presence sensors, so I don't have to think about it at all. When I do want to make a change, I have the ease of my touches readily available to do that. And in those few cases where I want to get a full overview of my home, we have our app right here. So this is my command board, essentially. I can get a look at everything from the burglar alarm, security features, just to maybe playing around with my lighting modes, I can easily do right here. What's great about this app, it can run on really any device. You can reach it through a desktop browser. We have it here on an iPad mounted on the wall for convenience, but really any sort of device. This is easy to use, and obviously even on my phone, it's the same app that I can easily interact with. We're going to show you now some really fun things that we can do inside of the app. It's pretty amazing the flexibility that we have with Loxone, and something that's really great to see is how much fun we can have, how easy it is to adjust our lighting scenes. Right now I've clicked on our main living area where we are right now, and I see all those main big components populate right up at the top. My music, climate, and then of course my lighting too. When I tap on my lighting, here are all of those scenes that I've pre-created for myself. But maybe I want to completely change the feel of my space. If I just hit this little more button, I have access to all of my lights together. Here's my fun color wheel. pretty amazing to see the response time. No lag time whatsoever with Loxone. And because I have this full color, this also affords me tunable white light. So I can make that really stark, really bright white when I'm cooking in my kitchen area. When it's time to eat, drop it down, warm it up, maybe dim it down as well. It's that easy. Now we've talked a lot about our multi-room audio as well. And of course, back here in my main living area, we're gonna check that out too. Right here, I have my playlists. I have access to internet, radio. We have full integration with Spotify. I can store everything right here in the app. We even have something really fun, very useful for everyday life, announcements and text-to-speech. So say it's a busy morning, trying to get out the door, I can hit announcements, select where I want to send my announcement, and I can record it right now. So if I need my kids to get moving, let's go, we're running late. Simple as that, and let's go, we're running late. There we go. Now we're back in our main living area, and I'm going to show you guys what we can do with climate as well. So what you see right here is the schedule that we've set for our main living space. In the green, that's when we want our comfort mode. This is when we're here in the office. Outside of that, it goes into eco-safe mode. Now, of course, there's times where we have events or maybe at the office a little bit later. The wonderful thing about a truly automated solution with Loxone, our presence is detected and we're going to extend that comfort mode because our solution knows that our comfort is still needed, the space is still occupied. What is also important about this, even though we're setting a schedule, we are not truly sticking to that. Our solution is intuitive enough that it's going to learn our space here. And it knows that when we come here in the morning by 8 a.m., it's going to figure out that larger spaces take a bit longer to warm up or cool down. They will start that process a little bit ahead of our more closed off spaces. So the solution is really learning our spaces, learning our home, and it's creating the ideal environment for us. We also have security options in a Loxone home. When we have our lighting, we have our audio and security all working together, it's very easy to create a very, very secure home. A very good example of that is something as simple as a little water sensor. A little bit of water can do quite a lot of damage. I'll show you what happens as soon as this little device does sense some moisture. As soon as it does,
water alert. Water detected under kitchen sink.
You can see that I'm now informed. I had an announcement over my speakers. There goes a second alarm. Lights are flashing, and even when we come over to the app, this is what I'm seeing. Same as I received on my phone. So even if I'm not at home, I'm going to see that something happened. I know exactly what happened, where it happened, and when it happened. And if I need to reference that later, we have a nice little history that our app keeps for us. So I see when that kitchen contact was triggered. Something that can be very expensive, very cumbersome even to operate is a security system in a home, a burglar alarm. Of course, we've made that very easy as well with Loxone. When I leave my house from my touch right here, I tap 3 times in the center and my house is armed. In addition to that, of course, all of my lights are going to turn off, music, etc. will shut the house down for you. I'm going to give you an example now of what happens when our burglar alarm is enabled and a door or a window is opened. You're gonna hear that little pre-alarm, a soft click in case you just came back in accidentally. Pretty soon, the rest of the house responds. What's great about this, we're drawing attention to your house. The last thing your burglar wants, there's another level of security. And of course, all of this I'm going to get on my phone if I'm not at home. Thank you so much for touring our space today. If you want to talk about Loxone or discuss your project or your home, feel free to reach out to us here. We also do tours of the space quite often, so we'd love to have you come see our show home or visit a show home near you. You can reach out to us at loxone.com/experience or send us an email, office@loxone.com. Thanks again.